Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Rebecca's Sunnybrook Farm. Chapter 6. Rebecca rallies to a good cause. Mr. Cobb's scheme to drive Rebecca home and sneak her back in the brick house unnoticed by her aunts worked like a charm. While the crafty coachman parked his buggy in the side yard and lured Miranda and Jane Sawyer out to the shed to discuss the delivery of wood, Rebecca slipped silently in the front of the door. Then she crept silently to her room and undressed in the dark. As she lay in the bed, mulling over the day's events, she felt strangely at peace. She knew she had done the right thing to return to the Sawyer homestead and was determined now to win Miranda's approval. "I never saw a child improve in her work like Rebecca has," Miranda remarked to Jane a week later as they prepared dinner in the kitchen. "That settling it down I gave her was probably just what she needed. I dare say it'll last a month for it at least." "I'm glad you're pleased, Maria," returned Jane, giving the bread dough she was kneading an extra thump. "A cringing worm is what you want, not a bright, smiling child. Rebecca looks to me as if she'd been through the 7 Years' War." If her home life felt as much to be desired, school and the wonderful friendships Rebecca had made up for it. The bond Rebecca forged with Jeremiah Cobb, the wise, kind-hearted stagecoach who stood by her in a time of trouble, continued to grow. True to his word, Mr. Cobb took Rebecca to Milltown on the stage for a day of sightseeing in early October. Mrs. Cobb and Emma Jane Perkins went along for the trip. Like her husband, Sarah Cobb was very taken with Rebecca, who she thought was one of the smartest and most interesting young girls she had ever met. "I ain't sure, but she's going to turn out to be someone remarkable, a singer or a writer or a lady doctor," Sarah Cobb predicted that night after they returned home. Rebecca sure was good company. Why, there wasn't a dull moment all day. Just before Thanksgiving, Rebecca came involved in a project helping the Simpson children prove just how remarkable she was already. From the first day of school, the girl from Sunnybrook Farm had felt a kinship with the loud, rowdy Simpson family, who were desperately poor and struggled constantly just to make ends meet. Many of the time, the children had depended on their neighbors just for scraps of food. The head of the clan, Abner Simpson, had the unfortunate habit of stealing farm tools and vehicles from one neighbor and swapping them for similar items that caught his fancy with another neighbor. Inevitably, the bungling thief got caught and ended up in jail. Mr. Simpson spent much of his time behind bars, while his poor wife spent her days taking in washing and cleaning other people's houses. Their children did chores and helped out as best they could. Despite their youth, Clarabelle and Susan Simpson had considerably more business sense than their foolish, ne'er-do-well father. They felt they had come up with a bright idea of working in the Excelsior Soap Company and selling soap to the neighbors. However, the company did not pay wages. Instead, it awarded its salespeople a premium or a prize when they had sold a certain number of cakes of soap. The Simpson sisters were so successful at selling that they quickly reached their goal and rewarded a child's handcar which they discovered worked well on bumpy country roads. Armed with circulars featuring bright colored pictures of the company's product, Clarabelle and Susan approached their new classmate Rebecca and asked her to join them in their business venture. The idea was to work hard together to earn a brass lamp together in shade for the Simpson home. Carefully, the Simpson girls explained how they planned to expand their operations by calling on new customers in nearby towns. Rebecca was so enthusiastic that she was not only promised to be a saleswoman herself, but she persuaded Emma Jane to be a partner as well. Before they set out their route together, the two best friends memorized all the major points in the soap company's circular and practiced their sales talk in Emma Jane's attic. Emma Jane practiced her speech on Rebecca, and Rebecca hers on Emma Jane. "Can I sell you some more soap this afternoon, madam?" Rebecca said with dramatic flourishing of her arms. I have two kinds, Snow White for the laundry and Rose Red for the bath. 20 cents a cake for the white and 25 for the red. 6 cakes in each fancy box. I guarantee you that our soap is made from the purest ingredients and could even be eaten by a baby. Oh, Rebecca, don't say that, interrupted Emma Jane from the depths of the old moth-eaten settee where she was watching for her friend's performance. It makes me feel like a fool. It takes so little for you to feel like a fool. Emma Jane's hints that sometimes I think you must be one. Rebecca teased, popping down on the sled. Well, maybe I actually got the part about the baby eating the soap. Why don't you take over now? The Snow White soap was probably the most unusual soap ever manufactured, Emma Jane began as she took her turn on the dusty floor. All you have to do is soak your clothes in a tub of sudsy water from sunrise to sunset, and even the youngest baby can wash them. I can't imagine a baby doing a family wash with any soap, Rebecca laughed, but it must be true or the soap company wouldn't dare print it. At the houses where they don't know me, I won't feel nervous at all. I will just reel off the whole rigmarole, even the part about the baby. Oh, I can't wait to get started. Since Rebecca's aunts had gone to Portland to a funeral, she spent the weekend at Emma Jane's house. On Saturday, the girls planned to drive to North Riverboro, 3 miles away, to have lunch with Emma Jane's cousins at 12 o'clock and return by 4. When asked Mrs. Perkins if they could call out a few houses going and selling soap for the Simpsons, the dear lady finally agreed. Like everyone in town, Mrs. Perkins had a tender spot in her heart for the poor family. On a glorious Indian summer day, Emma, Jane, and Rebecca sat out in the Perkins house and wagon and headed right to the River Road General Store to stock up on the Excelsior Company soap, which they charged to Clara Bell Simpson's account. Chatting happily, the two girls climbed back in the wagon and drove the road towards North Riverboro. Trees ablaze with the magnificent colors of autumn, lined with the lane on either side. Whoa, Nellie, Emma Jane called suddenly to her beautiful white horse as they approached a weather-beaten salt house that had been built right on the road. All right, Rebecca, you couldn't wait to get started selling, so you should make the first sales call. Wish me luck, Rebecca said, as she jumped down from the wagon and picked out 2 boxes of soap from the back. After all, Clarabelle and Susan are depending on us. Hurriedly, she walked in front of the path and knocked on the door of the house. Somewhere above her, she heard a window fly open. Go away, little girl, a woman with a loud, shrill voice called out. Whatever you have in those boxes, I don't want it in any. Go away, you hear? And that's the end of that chapter. See you later.